The big questions tonight, is this an exercise in empathy or is Rahul Gandhi playing pure politics? Has Rahul Gandhi's visit been to a bid, is it a bid to corner the Modi government? Can the government and opposition work together in a state like Manipur? What really is the way forward for Manipur? Some of the questions I'll raise tonight. Nalin Kohli is the senior BJP national spokesperson. Supriya Srinath is head of the Congress's media cell and national spokesperson. Veena Lakshmi Nepran is founder director, Manipur Women Gun Survivors Network. Kaushik Deka, executive editor, India Today, and also heads India Today Northeast. Appreciate all of you joining us. Let's turn for a moment first to the two politicians to ask them that question. You, Nalin Kohli, first, because the BJP has already gone ahead and attacked Rahul Gandhi, saying he's playing politics. I mean, he is a politician. If he doesn't do politics, what is he supposed to do? If he hadn't gone to Manipur, he would be damned. If he goes, he's damned again.
So I think that's a fair question, Rajdeep, that if politicians won't play politics, who would? That's a fair question. But I think when there's duplicity involved, then it becomes politics being called politics by a political person. So let's look at Mr. Rahul Gandhi. He has empathy, he is Mohabbat ki dukhan. These are his great words. So Mr. Rahul Gandhi never chose to be in Manipur in 2015 to 17 when his government, which is the Congress party government, came out with 3 bills that led in firing, which led to 9 Kuki people being killed. He never visited between 2008, in 2010, in 2012, where approximately 200 people every year died in ethnic violence. So this is selective. Now, Mr. Rahul Gandhi can't claim that he was not in active politics at that period. I can go backwards, but I don't wish to. I'm just picking up the period of the end of the UPA, and I'm picking up after the BJP came to power. So that's one. Number two, Mr. Rahul Gandhi in the press conference had a script. The minute questions were asked outside the script, he got up. So you can't have a charge that, why do people not speak to the media when you yourself don't answer every question to the media? So you have to basically stick to a standard. My third, Mr. Rahul Gandhi seems to find problems only in BJP-ruled states. India is a diverse country. India and many states which are Congress allies have problems. He never once goes there. So if this is not opportunism, if this is empathy, as the word is being put across, then God help us from such empathy. Okay. I mean, what's his empathy for Shivji, whom he puts up and starts keeping this as the new icon, one point, and Shivji in the parliament, Shivji behind him. But when Sanatan Dharma is called a disease, mind you, a disease, by the DMK leader, and they are close allies, they fought the election together, not a word, not a pain for the women of Sandesh Khali. So Mr. Rahul Gandhi is doing what is called base level political work. Now if the Congress party feels this is the standard of politics, good luck to them.
Okay. Supriya Srinath, your response to what you're just hearing, double standards, opportunism, Rahul Gandhi doesn't go to states where a Sandesh Khali or where there's a huge tragedy in Tamil Nadu because there are opposition governments, he only goes to BJP ruled states. Your response?
So first up, I think people in this country need to understand what is happening in Manipur. And for the BJP to use the language, the phrases and the brazenness with which they compare Manipur to any other state in India, either is absolutely insensitive or they simply are ignorant. Manipur has been in the throes of violence and huge violence between two communities now for almost 16 months. There are thousands of people, the little children whose pictures are being shown, the women, young men, they're all forced to live in relief camps for months on end. Do you even realize what's happening in Manipur? Manipur in the throes of violence to the extent that the Manipur police clashes with Assam rifles. The Manipur police has clashed with the Indian army. That's the extent of violence. That's the extent of how law and order has completely collapsed. The reality is that any other government would have shunted out the chief minister who has lost complete confidence of the people, but the BJP still lets him hang around. And that is what the problem is. When Rahul Gandhi meets people, and I am absolutely going to say this as upfront as possible. If meeting people from Manipur 3 times in the last 1 year is politics, this is what politics should be. If going and meeting those little children and bringing a smile on their face and telling them that tomorrow is going to be brighter and things will be all right, and carrying the message of love and peace as politics. This is the politics we need. There are people who've lost their businesses. Their houses have been ruined. Property worth crores has been completely brought down, razed to the ground. What are we talking about? Manipur is seeing the civil unrest that perhaps no other state has seen after independence. It's been 16 months. And what is the question? We are not even asking. As leader of opposition and as an elected MP, he has every business to go to Manipur. And I'm glad he's doing this politics, because this is what we are all in public life for, to wipe a tear off somebody's face, to assuage and to assure people that things will be better. But where is the Prime Minister? The Prime Minister has not found one day, not 1 hour, and this is my last point, not 1 hour in going to Manipur. He goes to Tripura, he goes to West Bengal, he goes to adjoining areas. He has to take a 40-minute flight in his 8,500 crore rupee aircraft. He does not find the time. No, he does not have the inclination. He does not have the moral compass. He does not have the will to go to Manipur. He does not have the basic courtesy to go to a state of India that's been ravaged by violence.
Okay, I've heard both sides. Beena Lakshmi is waiting patiently, but I want Nalin Kohli to respond to that point before I come to Beena Lakshmi, because that is a central point, Nalin Kohli, that's been made by Rahul Gandhi again and again. 14 months now, violence has troubled the valley, and the Prime Minister didn't even go during the elections, went to neighboring states, but did not go to Manipur. I mean, it almost seems, I had put up earlier the number of times the Prime Minister has visited Northeast, twice as many times as Manmohan Singh across the Northeast. That's to his credit. But when it comes to Manipur in the last 14 months, he simply doesn't seem to want to go there. Why? What is the reluctance to go and face issues which may be more troubling? You have time to spend 40 minutes with the Indian cricket team, but you don't have time to spend 2 minutes with the people of Manipur.
I can say the same thing in a counter way. Rahul Gandhi ji has time to go to a temple, but has no time to condemn Sanatan Dharma being called a disease. I mean, these kind of responses or comparisons you can make for everything. Somebody has a glass of Coke while another person doesn't have a glass of water. So, I mean, these are unfair, But let's come down to the question.
When the Congress says, why hasn't the Prime Minister gone to Manipur? The Congress says the Prime Minister hasn't gone to Manipur.
Wait. No, wait. I know the question and I'm not deaf.
Sir.
I'm not deaf. I heard the question and I'm going to answer it frontal. It is one government. It is the government of Prime Minister Modi, in which there's a very senior leader, Mr. Amit Shah, who's the Home Minister. He spent a night there and he went there. As have other things. So we are trying to put out the fire. So this is like you tell the firefighting team, no. I will go and add some more oil so that there is a little bit of fire, and talk it about shedding a tear. And who's going to claim responsibility if this going in the name of shedding a tear leads to somebody else's tears? And I think let's come down to this, Rajdeep, and a serious thing. Because you've got Kaushik, who's senior and from the area, and you've got Beena Lakshmi. We may have different views, but they are from the region. And I would say this, in my 32 years of being associated with the BJP, 22 years in the party, 37 years that I have been associated with the Northeast directly or indirectly. And I would say it with a sense of responsibility and knowledge, not on a script from anybody, that in the Northeast, if there is ethnic violence, it's very serious. It's very painful. And sometimes it's long drawn. And what you need is to make every effort to calm it down. What you don't need is somebody jumping in there and trying to, in the name of assuaging feelings, create problems.
Okay.
That I say as an Indian, not as the BJP spokesperson. That I say for someone who has basically tried to learn about the Northeast, has been to the Northeast, and has been associated for 3 decades, not there for political tourism.
Okay. Supriya Srinath, I'll let you respond, but let Beena Lakshmi first respond. She's been waiting. Beena Lakshmi, why don't you respond? You're listening to these politicians.
Thank you so much.
I will let you respond, Supriya, I assure you. I will let you respond. Go ahead, Beena Lakshmi.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. First of all, I think Manipur needs a balm after 16 months of really violent ethnic conflict, which has led to hundreds of lives being lost. So we welcome the visit of Rahul Gandhi. We also have been waiting patiently from 3rd of May for the Prime Minister's visit. Mr. Nalin Kohli, our appeal to you is to if your house is burning, when your children are suffering, will you not as a parent, will you not as a father, as a parent come and visit? This is the first question we would like to ask. The failure of the visit of the Prime Minister hurts all Manipuris. So this I want you to know. Secondly, the issue of Manipur is beyond ethnic conflict. It's about cross-border human trafficking. It's about trans-border, transnational narcotics. It's a national security issue. Until today, the BJP, with all your powers, we want to ask the national ministers and all of you there, how come you've not been able to resolve? And how come a tiny, beautiful state, which gave Manipuri dance and many other sports person in our world, in our country, is divided into two buffer zones? 3.3 million Manipuris, where the Kukis, Nagas, Meiteis, Manipuri Muslim, they're all children of Manipur. They're all children of this country. How come you have divided them into buffer zones? These are unpardonable acts.
How would a visit, Bina Lakshmi, how would a visit of the Prime Minister change that? You see, you're saying the people of Manipur are waiting. How would it change that?
He's the parent. The Prime Minister of a country is the head of a country. And if your children are hurting, it's a duty of that head of the family to come and visit us, to hold us, and to tell that we are with you in your pain. He didn't do that, and we will never forgive him for that. He better visit us before it's too late, Rajdeep.
You know, you're making strong words there. Kaushik Deka, you're listening to that emotional appeal by Bina Lakshmi that the Prime Minister must visit. Do you get a sense that with the 2 seats were also won by the Congress in the Lok Sabha elections, inner and outer Manipur, that there's a sense that the people feel abandoned? I'm not sure how one visit will change anything on the ground, given that it's a very complex situation, but not going there at all is being seen as the Prime Minister not doing what he's supposed to do. Is that the feeling you get from the ground when you speak to people in Manipur?
Absolutely. One visit may not change anything, but that visit is very important. As you rightly said in the very beginning, that politicians will do politics. Having said that, in this case, in the context of Manipur, Congress has done the politics way better than BJP. For the simple reason that, of course, Rahul Gandhi visited during the conflict. He started his Bharat Joro from Manipur, and he is visiting now also. And if you see the election results, as you pointed out, the Manipur has posed faith in Congress. So they have found the Congress politics better than, of course, we can criticize Congress also, and rightly so, that they may have failed in many other states. But tell me where exactly in India you will find more than 50,000 people displaced even now after 16 months and living in refugee camps. And the Prime Minister of the country, he hasn't visited once. Probably he should have been there for a week. Probably he should have found more solutions to the issue. And of course, they have every right to feel neglected. If you go to Imphal, if you go to Churachandpur, if you go to any area in Manipur, people feel neglected. People feel that the Prime Minister, even after so many people lost lives, 200 people lost lives, and more than 50,000 people still displaced. And the Prime Minister hasn't visited once. He doesn't even speak much about Manipur. So people had to force him to speak about Manipur, which has actually negated all his 70 visits to Northeast. He actually had built a great rapport with Northeast, which you have to accept. Northeast has prospered under BJP rule. There is no doubt about that. But this one incident, this neglect, has negated a lot of his good work.
Okay, I'm going to, Supriya Shined, you were keen to respond to what Nalin Kohli said earlier. Nalin Kohli is making the charge that the Congress is resorting to opportunism, that they don't have any real love for the Northeast, that they claim the Prime Minister is the one who's done this outreach to Northeast over the last 10 years. Don't hang him only simply because he hasn't been to Manipur in the last 14 months.
Rajdeep, I have one very important submission to make and then I will answer your questions. What is happening in Manipur is the travesty of our times. What is happening to those 50,000-60,000 people who are still forced to live in relief camps should put us all to shame. I'm not just talking about the government. But to say somebody has a glass of Coke and somebody has a glass of water, you really come armed with some brazenness that I frankly don't understand. I mean, don't be as insensitive to the plight of Manipur just because, you know, you want to make a point there. This is not about Coke and water. This is about people living, people who've lost their lives, livelihoods, and their dear ones in an ethnic conflict that has really gone out of hand, where the government, and we are not saying this, I want to quote two people here. The MLAs and the former MP of BJP whose houses were burnt down said the government is actively patronizing people who are bringing about this disturbance. It's not me, it's the words of your MP. Mohan Bhagwat shows you the mirror. He's nobody I'm a great fan of. An RSS head, your ideologue, who's telling you, find a stable, reliable, peaceful solution in Manipur. We cannot let Manipur burn the way it has been burning. I will come back to the moot point that I'm trying to make here. Olympic medal winners from Manipur saying the Prime Minister must do something. Rajdeep, you're the head of your family. And tomorrow, if there is an hour of crisis and you just refuse to show up, it doesn't make you just seem like a coward, which I will call you if you do that, but it also shows that you simply don't care.
No, what would his visit go? No, I
don't even want
ma'am,
to look in
but
that direction.
what do you believe?
I will tell you.
No, the government will say it's tokenism. You want a token visit?
I'm answering that question. No, it is not about a token visit. It is about sending a message to the people of Manipur that we stand with you in your hour of grief. That is what the Prime Minister does. When Prime Minister goes to an area that's hit by an earthquake or floods, you think he starts going and doing the relief work? No. He goes there and sends a message to the administration, to the people, that in your hour of crisis, we are here. For the last 14, 15 months, that's what Manipur wants to do. They want India's Prime Minister, the head of India's state, to actually just show up.
Okay.
That's all that they want. And I'm going to go back to the point that I was trying to make here, and that's the last point I want to make here, because the reality is, each time Rahul Gandhi shows up, he makes the BJP nervous. But your nervousness is not going to stop us from standing in solidarity with people of Manipur, of both communities. There is a reason why you lost the plot in Manipur. There is a reason why you lost the election. For us, it's not about those 2 Lok Sabha seats. For us, Manipur is a state that needs our attention, that needs our empathy, that needs our love, something that you cannot show up with.
Okay.
That's the reality.
I'm going to, for a moment, Nalin Kohli, just play what the Prime Minister and Rahul Gandhi said on this debate in Parliament when Manipur was raised. Remember, the Prime Minister spoke in Rajya Sabha, not in Lok Sabha on Manipur. Rahul Gandhi raised it in the Lok Sabha, and then I'll come back to you. Listen in.
मणिपुर को आपने सिविल वॉर में डुबा दिया है। मणिपुर को आपने और आपकी योजनाओं ने, आपकी पॉलिटिक्स ने जला दिया है। और आज तक हिंदुस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री मणिपुर नहीं गए हैं। हमने मतलब प्रेशर लगाया, हम गए, हमने प्रधानमंत्री से कहा एक मैसेज दे दीजिए, मणिपुर चले जाइए, जनता की वहां रक्षा कीजिए। नहीं,
हम सभी को राजनीति से ऊपर उठ करके वहां की स्थिति को सामान्य बनाने में सहयोग करना चाहिए। ये हम सबका कर्तव्य है। जो भी तत्व मणिपुर की आग में घी डालने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, मैं उनसे आगाह करता हूं कि ये हरकतें बंद करें। एक समय आएगा मणिपुर ही उनको रिजेक्ट करने वाला है, ऐसे लोगों को।
Nalin Kohli, the Prime Minister says people are putting fuel in the fire. They will be rejected by the people of Manipur. In the Lok Sabha elections, actually, it was the Congress that won both the seats. The Prime Minister has not even been able to get his own Kuki and Mete MLAs to sit across a table and talk to each other. You're telling me Amit Shah is doing everything, Amit Shah is handling the show, but the country doesn't know what is happening. The country needs to know if Amit Shah is actually ensuring or trying to ensure peace in Manipur, what exactly is happening. The BJP on the optical level is losing out, it appears, to the Congress because Rahul Gandhi is on ground zero while the Prime Minister hasn't gone once.
So there are 3-4 points here. See, I'm not going to fall into the manner in which it is, but I'm going to dissect what has been said and the allegations that are coming our way. So there has been not a single word that I've heard from ever anyone in the Congress party praising the Prime Minister when he made some 65, 70 trips to the Northeast over 10 years, which includes Manipur. Not one. Let's also come to this. I can't recall of a single instance, and I was trying to do that, subject to correction by, say, Kaushik, who's covered the Northeast heavily, is that how many times did Dr. Manmohan Singh visit Assam, where there are annual floods, and he was an MP of Assam for 10 years? Or how many times did he go to the Northeast as compared to this? I can't recall if I'm going back to other troubled spots. And we had a very, very violent period in Jammu and Kashmir in the 80s, 90s, is how many prime ministerial visits. So I think there are two parts here. One is the expectation that the Honorable Prime Minister, as the leader of the government, as the elected person who's going to lead the country into a certain direction, can he go there? The second part is the functioning of the government. And that expectation from, say, anyone, Beena, Lakshmi or Kaushik or you or anyone else, is on a different pedestal to, say, the Congress party. Because the Congress party, my argument is suspect. They don't care. It's a drama. And I'm going to substantiate that. Because if they cared, they would have seen the Prime Minister when Manipur used to sell cylinders, that is LPG cylinders, for 3,000 rupees. And when you had blockade after blockade, we didn't see the Prime Minister of the Congress ever go. Ever. So, you know, this heart bleeds and there is a tear. It's a script. So be it, it's politics. The second part to it is, what is the government doing? Now, to say that the government is not concerned with it is not just an overstatement, it's a gross overstatement. To recognize that there is a problem is a fact. It's a statement of fact, and we ourselves are worried about it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had the Home Minister, you wouldn't have so many other efforts taking place. We want the situation to calm down. And our point is, which the Prime Minister articulated in the Rajya Sabha, that can you stop putting fuel in the fire?
Now, how does Rahul Gandhi going there become fuel? No, 1 minute. Nalit Kohli, just a minute, sir. How does Rahul Gandhi visiting Manipur, going to relief camp, become fuel in the fire? I mean, you know, the great leaders of this country always went to ground zero. They always went to wipe the tears of the poor and the dispossessed. So how does that become, putting fuel in the fire?
Excellent. Excellent. I'm grateful to you for this question.
Yes.
Because his intention is suspect. His intention is, pardon the language, dubious. Because if he really cared, then he wouldn't see a difference between one citizen of a state and another citizen, and he would stand on the principle of wiping tears of citizens wherever it is. That is the point. Okay. If the intention is not good, as we say in law, mens rea, intention. If there is an intention which is not
go ahead.
bona fide, we obviously are going to point that argument.
You started this show by saying you're appealing on behalf of Manipur that the Prime Minister comes there. I repeat, how do you believe his visit will change? What is it that you want to hear?
Rajdeep, in the last couple of months and yesterday, there has been several suicides committed in relief camps. Over 70,000 people languishing in more than 300 relief camps in Manipur till today. So this is not about politics for us. This is about ensuring safety and security of the people in one of the most beautiful states in northeast of India, bordering Burma. And this is not about politics for us. It's about our safety and security and our rights, which every citizen in this country, a land of 1.7 billion people, deserve. And I understand that there are efforts being made, but those efforts are not enough. With all the learned people in the cabinet and everything, it's not enough. And we are appealing to Mr. Kohli and everybody who's at the helm of affairs of the country to do everything in their potential, because, as I said, this is for us a national security issue. This is about cross-border drug trade. This is about cross-border human trafficking. Unless Burma also gives democracy back, we will continue to have these issues back in Manipur. And India has a responsibility to protect within its constitution and under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights to protect people who are fleeing for their lives too. No proper step in situation has been taken. Okay. And yes, and sorry, I'm in a flight.
Okay, yes, I know you've got to leave us, but Kaushik Deka, is there a solution that you've seen? Has the government, you've been talking to government sources, Do they have a solution? They put in special secretaries. There is a feeling that the government has been has sidelined Biren Singh and is working directly through government officers and the army. It hasn't had the kind of effect. Even earlier today, there was an attack in one place. Do you believe that the government has got a plan of action at the moment for Manipur?
There is no doubt they are trying, means various sources are trying. It's also true that nobody, even including the Prime Minister, BJP dispensation, nobody wants this to continue. But the problem is quite difficult, and it's a unique one. In India, you would not find a place, or probably nowhere within a country, that there are two communities which have been geographically segregated. A Meitei cannot go to a place like Churachandpur. A Kuki from Churachandpur cannot come to Imphal. And it's not just the civilians, means entire machinery, bureaucracy, armed forces, police forces, they are segregated geographically. And a state cannot function, means any place in India, it cannot function like this when two communities, they have no connect. And the efforts are being made, but these efforts are quite less, because it cannot be solved administratively.
Right.
You have to make emotional efforts, you have to make social efforts, and it will be quite a long haul.
But you've
and
also
that's why
got
the visit by the Prime Minister is important, because he symbolizes, as he made a great impact on the Northeast, showing Northeast culture, showing Northeast, improving Northeast infrastructure. And we saw that politically the Congress was replaced by BJP in many states.
Okay.
Wherever they could. But
let me bring in...
It's negated now.
You're saying it's negated now, but Supriya Shine, does the Congress have a plan of action? Beyond Rahul Gandhi going there, does the Congress have a concrete plan of action to bring the two communities together? You see, the challenge is to restore the primacy of the state and to provide the healing touch. Does Rahul Gandhi have a plan for that?
The first step towards that plan of action is to really want peace in Manipur. And for that to happen, you have to accept the situation, you have to apportion blame where it belongs, and then you have to act. Biren Singh cannot continue in office and peace cannot return to Manipur on the same day. That is absolutely certain. He's lost the faith and confidence of not just one, but both communities at war. I also want to make one important point here. Everlasting peace, for everlasting peace to happen, you've got the communities to converse with each other. You've got to talk to them. You've got to be in communication. The Prime Minister has refused to meet even a single delegation from Manipur. He's not even met his own MLAs, let alone delegations. How are you going to get peace? You know, everybody here is talking about Amit Shah. The BJP spokesperson said Amit Shah has been there. Amit Shah was there, but Amit Shah did not even get to know that the mob lynched and paraded two women naked. He got to know about it 76 days later, and the Prime Minister made a 36-second statement. So please don't get me started on what happens. I do believe...
No, but what's the plan of action?
Is there...
No, why doesn't Rahul Gandhi
your way?
provide...
I want to say, make one point. One last.
If he believes he has the answer, he should tell the nation what the solution is.
And the solution is to stand with the people. The solution is to get the communities together. The solution is to appeal for peace. The solution is to be amidst the people and not care about your own life and liberty. The solution is to tell the two communities that violence and hatred is not going to lead to a peaceful solution. The solution lies in communication, and that's the bridge that Rahul Gandhi is trying to build. But he has limited elbow room. The elbow room is with the state. And I want to say one last thing here. The BJP was talking about caring. Is your mode and is your way of showing that you care not showing up? Because in any dictionary, anywhere in the world, not showing up is insensitive, it is running away from responsibility, and it simply means don't care. Unless you believe that's caring. But that's a very weird way to show.
Final word, Nalin Kohli. As you are seeing, the Congress believes it has got the moral high ground on this issue. I'm giving you the final word.
Just one sentence.
Yes.
Just one sentence. And I'll pick up, I think, what the Congress spokesperson has said, the last one, you know, not running away, caring and all those things that she said. Can you just point me out, when did Rahul Gandhi ji go to a Kashmiri Pandits camp? Ever. And they do have Kashmiri blood also in them. And that's also about two communities. Did it not take place? So I think the question is not, you don't need lessons or practice what you preach. Now there you see. Now I'll say, did he go to Sandesh Khali since you raised about rap? No one might
That's
hold
how
on. Now,
insensitive
see,
and brazen you are.
well, Rajdeep,
You
look
are
at that.
comparing
No, look at that.
your
No, so now I
Supriya
become
Shinde, let him complete.
insensitive.
He
but
did
that
not
is
intervene with you.
sensitivity.
No, Supriya Shinde, you're being unfair to him.
well,
He wants to make a point. He's entitled.
I
Very
didn't
quickly.
intervene.
Nalin,
I
go
didn't
ahead.
intervene.
Complete.
Yes. My point is, as I've said consistently through this debate, I would welcome, and I say it as an Indian, now leave the BJP spokesperson aside, I would welcome if anyone from the Congress, it is a national party, including Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Ms. Sonia Gandhi, Ms. Priyanka Vadra, as Indian citizens, anyone goes and does something genuine and sticks to those standards. But I'm certainly going to, as a political person, counterback somebody whose intentions are not genuine and not, as I
Sir,
say, Article 14,
either way,
that your heart will bleed for X but
Okay.
not bleed for Y.
That's your
Simple.
view, that they are expressing double standards. They express the view that the Prime Minister is missing
course.
in action. He's the Prime Minister of India, and Manipur is an integral part of this country. When 220 people have died in this corner of the country, you expect greater empathy. That empathy question is something the government of India will have to answer. Whether that requires a prime ministerial visit, whether that requires an all-party delegation, whether that requires Metes and Kuki MLAs being brought together, that's for the government of India to decide. But either way, at the moment, if you look at it in pure optics, Rahul Gandhi on the ground, the Prime Minister not having gone to Manipur in 14 days, well, who in a sense is the one providing some kind of an outreach is for you, the viewers, to decide. I thank all my guests for joining me here on the show today. Thank you so much. Complex issue, not easy to resolve the problems in Manipur.